Hello, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage. So this is another episode about how we're gonna take this paintball gun and we're gonna put it on our camera car. Now what I'm gonna show you is a little bit how to think and how to put stuff on top of your vehicle. So let's start. First thing you want to do is remove as many parts as possible while you're doing your design work. Let's start with the gun itself. So this is going to be the paintball gun. We're going to end up hooking a servo to pull the trigger here. This is kind of a semi-automatic, so if you hold the trigger it's going to keep shooting automatically round after round. It's pretty cool. Then this is our container. This is a small container for the air. When I'm looking at this gun, I discovered that if I remove those pieces over here, I'm going to be able to remove this entire part and move it sideways somewhere. So we're going to do this later. But what we need to start doing right now is the grip. We're going to need to create a grip that will hold it on the vehicle and going to be able to tilt left and right and a little bit up and down. So it's going to be kind of two servos, that one going to go left and right and one going to go up and down. It's going to be very easy to do. I will show and explain. But to start, we have to make a bracket to hold the gun. It has to be very firm. What we're going to do is start, and please bear with me and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and press the small bell icon right there so you can get notification for those videos. So without any further ado, how do we do that? We're going to start by taking some draft paper and we're going to end up putting our gun on it. You can do that with any small BB gun, pellet gun, paintball gun is pretty good because it's kind of armless. So we can start with this and it can be safe and you can experiment with it, just don't point it to anybody's face. So what I'm doing right now is just a rough design of the front over here, and then we're gonna start doing some measuring. You will see in a second what I'm doing. Okay, so this is what we need to grab. So we need to grab this grip holder right there, and then we're going to need some support right here. So the support right here, we're going to go with this area that is straight versus those two areas that they're kind of cones up and down. So let's start. Okay, so we draw right now this grip. It's gonna look like this because we're gonna eliminate this part. One of the things that you're gonna have to do is do some measuring. You're gonna have to measure how thick this part is in order to create this in a 3D software, and we're gonna have to measure this entire triangle here, because what we're gonna do, we've initially gonna build a grip that's gonna go around it. And then it's going to have here a small pivot point that's going to be able to tilt up and down, and it's all going to sit on a lazy Susan that can go left and right. So in order to do all those measuring, we're going to need actually to have a drawing, because we need to get something that will grip all around. So this is just how to think about this design. I will show later how to use a very cheap it's kind of not cheap, it's free software online that I'm gonna do all the programming for the 3D printer with that, and I'm gonna show how to create the grip. So let's start taking some measurement right here. We have a ruler. If you don't have a caliper, you can definitely use a ruler to measure here the measurement that you need. I will do it so it's gonna be a little bit more accurate using a caliper. Let's set it up, and I'm gonna measure everything in millimeters. It's a little bit easier to work with and a little bit more accurate because everything gets divided by 100 and by tens and not by fraction of an inch. So let's start here. So here the widest area that we got is 52 millimeter 0.5. So I'm gonna make it here. So if it's 52 millimeter 0.5 for the widest area, I'm gonna put it at actually 52 3 because I need to have a little bit space front and back so I can tie it through. So this is one measurement that I got. Then I need to measure this area here of my trigger. How long distance? This is going to be, again, also 50. This is actually going to be 60. So from this line here to this line here, this is going to be 60 millimeter. And then we need to finalize the trigger. I'm going to put it a little bit further. This is going to be 65. So this area continuing here going to be 65. So now I have a couple of the measurement that I need. Later for the trigger, I'm gonna create another part. So if it's anybody don't understand yet what I'm doing, I'm going to create with a 3D printer a box that this thing will sit inside. This will sit inside of the box, and there's going to be a servo mechanism to press the trigger. So I'm trying to calculate what I need to print in order to have a grip, a fake grip that's going to hold us. So it's going to be a little bit calculation of doing. It's a very simple heads-up calculation and dividing. It's not a big deal. It's not geometry. It's very simple. And after I'm going to do that, I'm going to have the grip. After we're done with the grip, we're going to create a mount for the servo. And again, I was mentioning earlier, we're going to put it on a Lazy Susan. A Lazy Susan, it's 2 plates, a round plate with bearings that will let it go left and right. And we add another servo mechanism to the system so we can control it left and right, and another pivot point to go up and down. But this is the basic, just a really quick how to think about doing that. I know other people say, yes, you can use a scanner and scan all this and do it much quicker, but this is a way to think for yourself and do something in your way. This is how I do stuff in my way, and this is going to be a very cool project when it's done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow so you can actually see that. And please share it with your friends. Everybody have friends that like stuff like that. Please share it with them. It's free. It's over here on the internet. So let's go over right now what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna have to go and open my software. I'm gonna write it so you guys can see too. And I'm gonna have to start with a big square block. Okay. So the square block that I'm gonna need to build gonna have to be approximately 60 millimeter. 60 millimeter from here to here. But if you add that the 60 millimeter, you're gonna see that it's a little bit taller than that. One calculation that I did not take in consideration right now when I did it was the space from here to here. So let's measure it real quick. It is 44 millimeters, so I'm gonna add here 44. So what I'm gonna get here right now, this is going to be 104 millimeter, the box, and it's going to be, I have to add 65 and 53 in order to create the length that I'm gonna have here, and this will give me the square that I'm gonna start working with. Let's do the trick real quick. We're gonna get 100 113. Now when we're gonna go and look at what we do and how we got to this number, I'm gonna explain in a second, because we have here a little bit of an angle that we have to compensate. It's gonna be here a small triangle that we have to remove. So I'm gonna start with a 113 by 104 kind of rectangular shape that we're gonna cut all these parts out of. So it's gonna look like this on the software when I'm gonna cut it in area for the trigger. And after we remove everything around, this is what we're going to get. So let's go and start doing it on the computer.